Hari Om. The previous video had to be disconnected because there was somebody at the door and I'm the only person staying here. I had to answer the call. So thank you very much. So we begin with this chapter. 15th chapter is also called the Vedas of the Bhagavad Gita. The whole Vedic content, and it is also a chapter on the Upanishadic aspect of the Vedas. In its essence, there are only 20 verses, and this chapter is chanted all over the country in all ashrams, fully during dinner time and lunch time before food, because it contains many aspects of Bhagavan, who says that I am in the abdomen as the digestive fire. So beginning with the first verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhvamulamadha Shakham Ashvatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Vedasa Vedavit. So Shri Bhagavan tells Arjuna, even before, there is no question asked by Arjuna, he is just continuing on his own. What exactly is the relationship between God, the creator, and the world, the created, the infinite and the finite? These are some of the questions that generally rise up in any human intellect once it is set to contemplate upon life. So the picture is of a peepal tree. The peepal tree unveiled in these three stanzas serves as a beautiful allegory of the entire spiritual concept expounded in this chapter. Ashwatha is botanically known as Ficus religiosa, popularly called peepal tree. Recently, we had this Purnima to celebrate Vata Purnima, Vata Vriksha. That's a banyan tree. That's also a holy tree, but this peepal is Ashwatha. Peepal tree, which according to some has gathered its name because horses used to stand under its shade. Ashwastha. And Shva means tomorrow. Stha means that which remains. Therefore, Ashwatha means that which will not remain the same till tomorrow. In short, the word indicates the ephemeral, the ever-changing world of phenomena. Urdhva Moolam, the roots are up. Adhaha Shakham, the branches are down. This is not about a tree that is upside down, but Urdhva Moolam means the roots, the roots for this tree of life. It has its presence in consciousness, urdhvam, adaha, and the branches all come, branches of matter, they're all coming down. Adaha shakam, ashwatham. This tree, prahuhu avyayam. This tree is eternal. It is not destroyed at all. How much ever you take it, it keeps growing. Chandamsi. What are the leaves of this tree? The chandas or the meters of the Vedas. The meters of the Vedas contain the Vedic mantras set in particular meter, and those meters are the chandas, the leaves of the tree. Yasya Paranani, Yastam Veda Sa Vedavid. The one who knows this is a knower of all the Vedas. It is described here that the Ashwatha tree has its roots up, urdhva. Accepting directly the literal meaning, we have got some spiritually absurd, religiously mischievous, and aesthetically ugly pictures of the tree of samsara painted by some illiterate artists and made easily available in the Indian markets. It is an insult to the mighty majesty of the scriptural picture. These are Gurudev's words. According to Anandagiri, samsara is represented as a tree, vriksha, because of the etymological meaning of the Sanskrit term vriksha, that which can be cut down. The experiences of change and sorrow with the world of plurality can be totally ended through detachment. The tree of multiplicity that has seemingly sprung forth from the infinite consciousness divine can be cut down by shifting our attention from the tree to the divine. That is, from the experience to the observer of the experience, which is consciousness. Similarly, the tree of samsara has its roots up in the divine consciousness. A tree holds itself up and gets nourished by its roots. Similarly, the experiences of change and the experiencer of them are all established in the infinite and draw their sustenance from it alone. Even then, many of our friends doubt why is the word up, urdhva, used. It is used here in the same connotation as we use the term up in our everyday expressions like high command, higher officials, top men, upper class, high class jewelry, go up in life, try to rise up in life, get up, stay on the top. This reason, it is not referring to a particular space, it is referring to the state of mind. A higher place of reverence to consider the grosser and the devilish as belonging to a lower status. The perfect is the highest consciousness, illumined and vitalized, by which one alone can the body, mind, intellect, equipment experience its world of perception, emotion, thought. Naturally, therefore, the world of plurality is allegorically pictured here as a fig tree, the ficus religiosa tree, people tree, arising from and sustained by higher consciousness, the reality. The world of change, Ashwatha, is considered here as the eternal, Avyaya, only in a relative sense. Any people tree in any village must have observed many generations playing and growing up under its shade, and thus, with reference to man's average age, the people tree can be considered as relatively eternal. Similarly, with reference to the generations that grow, conceive, plan, strive, achieve, and die away, the world itself can be considered as relatively immortal. For this tree of life, the Vedas themselves are the leaves. Veda means knowledge. Knowledge are pramana vritti, that which we can see very clearly. That is knowledge. Is also thought. Knowledge does bring forth a great spurt of dynamism into life, into the world. In comparison with the modern world, with its colossal endeavors, mighty achievements, and superhuman aspirations, the ancient generations were, relatively speaking, not even alive. More the knowledge a generation acquires, the clearer becomes its vision of a greater future and more divine possibilities, and therefore, more is the amount of effort put by it to achieve the perceived goal. So, he who knows it is a knower of the Veda, who knows about this Ashwatha tree and that its leaves are all the chandas, the meters of the Vedas. They know the Veda. Veda means knowledge. What is knowledge? What is true knowledge? Knowledge of who I am. They know that. Now follows another figurative representation of the members of this tree of samsara. Who are all there in this tree of samsara? Adhaschordhvam prasrutastasya shakha guna pravriddha vishaya pravalaha adhascha mulani anusantatani karmanubandhini manushya loke. Adhascha urdhvam, below and higher, above. Prasrutaha tasya shakhaha, the branches of the tree are spread out. Guna pravruddha, how do the branches grow? They grow by the gunas. Sattva guna, rajoguna, and tamoguna are the fuel for the branches. Vishaya pravalaha, the sense objects of perception are the buds by which the tree, the buds and the flowers and the fruit, the buds that form before the fruit, flowers and the fruits, they are the vishayas, the sense organs of perception and action. Adhascha mulani anusantatani, the roots that are the sense objects are his bud, and below in the world of men stretch forth the roots originating in action. Action is the roots of the tree which express forth. How does a tree become solid? The tree becomes solid by actions. The more and more actions we do, the more and more the tree of samsara becomes solid. Describing the tree of life and adding more details to it, Vyasa says, upwards and downwards its branches spread. The flow of life in the individual as well as in the world is sometimes towards a higher evolutionary purposes, but more often it tends to cater to the lower animal nature. These two tendencies are significant here when it is said that the branches of the tree of life grow both upwards and downwards, fattened by the gunas. These urges for living the higher and the lower values are maintained and nourished by the particular type of psychological tendencies or gunas available in the individual. In an earlier chapter, chapter 14, the play of the gunas, the moods of the mind have been exhaustively discussed. And downward the roots extend. If the main root of the tree of samsara is lost in absolute reality, high above, the secondary roots which spring forth from it are spread all around and grow even downward into the world of man, initiating all actions. Here, secondary roots are the thought channels or vasanas, which are created in us and which propel each one of us towards his own typical actions and reactions in the world. They are the very causes that promote man's evil as well as meritorious activities in the world. Just as a main taproot, while spreading its secondary roots, claws the earth through them and gets a plant well rooted, so too these samskaras, actions and their reactions, both good and evil, bind the individuals fast to the earthly plane of likes and dislikes, of profits and losses, of earning and spending. The following two stanzas indicate how we can annihilate the tree and thereby come to experience a pure source of all life's manifestations, the infinite life. Narupamasyeha tatopalabhyate nanto na chadirna cha sampratishtha ashvattamenam suvirudhamulam asangashastrena dridhena chitva tatah padam tatparimargitavyam yasmin gatana nivartanti bhuyaha tameva chadyam purusham prapadye yatah pravrittif prasruta purani. So what should I do about this tree of samsara? Should I sit under this tree and relax nicely in this whole lifetime that I'm spending? I am in this tree of samsara, living this lifetime. What should I do? Should I be eating the fruits of this tree and enjoying and sitting in its shade? No. What is the nature of this tree? Can I see this tree? Narupam asya iha tatha upalabhyate. The form of this tree is not visible to us. Na antaha na chadirna cha sampratishtha. The beginning of the tree, where it begins, where it ends, and where it is rooted and established, it is difficult to find. Adhasthamenam. 1 minute. Ashwattamenam. Ashwattamenam, this Ashwatha tree, people tree, Ficus religiosa, meaning it is not exactly the people tree, but it is, the people is called, it's a very holy tree. And so that is why the example is taken. It has got leaf like the shape of a heart, and in the people leaf is only Vattasya Patrasya Puteshayanam Balam Mukundam Manasasmarami. Ashwattamenam Suvirudha Moolam. Suvirudha, very, very strong. The root is very strong. But can this root be cut? Yes, it can be cut by one means. One sword. What is that sword? The sword of Asanga. As I had mentioned earlier, cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectic behavioral therapy talk of this Asanga only. They talk of separation of I am the seer and this object, thought or emotion or feeling is the seen. And that is only the Asanga Shastra that is called for here. Asanga Shastra means I am that consciousness and everything else is part of matter, the field. With that understanding, with that clear understanding, I cut at the root of this tree. Dridhena, very firmly I am able to cut through the root. Chitva, and after cutting, what should I do? Should I be sitting and mourning over the tree that has been cut? Or thinking, how can I use that cut tree into my other activities and start growing another tree of samsara there? No. Tataha padam tatparimargitavyam. After finishing the cutting job, padam, that supreme consciousness, parimargitavyam, I should go in search of that. Yasmin gata, into that consciousness when I go, Na nivartanti bhuyaha. Again, I do not come back into this name and form and earth, the qualities. Tameva cha adyam purusham prapadye. When I surrender, when I worship that supreme Purusha, yataf pravrittihi prasruta purani. Who is that Purusha? From that Purusha, all beings are born and they are proliferating. For time immemorial, all activity or energy, and from this Purusha, everything is streaming forth. In order that the students may not misunderstand this mystic symbolism and take the tree too literally, Gurudev says the Gita Charya owns that its form as such is not perceived here. So it is not a tree like you can see in any temple or in any compound of a house. A tree like this that is described here, you cannot see it. It's perceived, its form as such is not perceived here. The tree of life, as described in the previous stanzas, evidently represents the entire field of manifested life. The subtle principle of life manifests through us in different planes and in a variety of forms as perceptions of the body, as emotions and feelings of the mind, as ideals and thoughts of the intellect, as mere non-apprehension of the causal body. All these vehicles and their experiences manifesting in the infinite life in their totality constitute the Ashwatha tree spreading out into all quarters. Naturally, therefore, Lord Krishna says that very few have the comprehensive vision to see them in one gaze. By the strong acts of detachment, this Ashwatha tree can be felled down completely. And then that goal should be sought after, to which men go and do not return again. Into that consciousness, once we go and we merge, then we don't return from that consciousness after that. We don't come back into this world of names, forms, and plurality. I seek refuge in that primeval Purusha, whence stream forth the ancient current. What sort of seekers reach this goal? Is it possible for me? Yes, it is possible if I cultivate these qualities. What are the qualities? Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha dvandvair vimuktva mukta sukha dukkha samjnaihi gacchantya padam avyayam tat. 6 qualities are there. What are they? Gacchanti amudhaha. The people who are not deluded at all. There is not an iota of tamas in them. They are filled with sattva guna. They are filled with that light of consciousness. Their thoughts are filled with that light of consciousness. Those people, nirmana moha. They are free from pride. Mana means having a great assessment about myself, having a great measurement about myself. I am so rich, I am so learned, I am so friendly, I am so capable, I am so skillful. Too much of self-pride. Mana. Moha is, nirmoha means free of delusion. I don't have the understanding that I am the body. I don't have the firm understanding that I am the body. Instead, I am aware that everything is only thought. Whatever name and form we see in this world is all only a pattern of thought, a thought pattern. So that is called moha, nirmoha. Jita sanga dosha. The person is free from the evil of attachment to the name, to the form, to the qualities, to the notion of doership and enjoyership, and to the possession of the results of action. For example, when I do some action, when I do a cleaning, and the result of the cleaning is the room becomes clean. If I possess that clean room and say it is my room which is clean, then that action leaves an imprint in my mind. If I don't possess it, it is only my duty to clean and I have cleaned, and with that I leave it. The whole cleanliness belongs to everybody. Whoever is coming and occupying that room, whoever is sitting there, it belongs to all of them. It doesn't belong to me. Gacchanti amudhaha padam avyayam tata. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha. Adhyatma nitya. So, if I have only these qualities of I don't have a high esteem about myself, I don't hold myself in such great esteem or thinking so much great about myself, and I do not have that sangha or attachment to the results of action and to the doership of the action as the enjoyer of the actions. I don't have those attachments. Is that enough? But I should focus on abhyasa. What is that? Adhyatma nitya. Every day I should contemplate on the nature of the self, the nature of the divine presence. Then vinivritta kama. It is not that is alone not only enough. If I contemplate alone, only my knowledge will increase. At the same time, I should free my subtle body of all the desires that are held inside. Vinivritta, leaving away, letting go of all the desires, saying, I don't want this. I might want something, but resolve that desire and let it go and say it is okay. If it happens, it is okay. If it doesn't happen, I am perfectly fine with it. So that is called letting go. Vinivritta kamaha. Dvandvaihi vimuktaha. The person who wants to achieve that supreme is free from duality. Duality means joy and sorrow, praise and censure, heat and cold, day and night, good and bad, like and dislike. All these dualities free from sukha dukkha samyaihi, dvandvaihi vimukta, sukha dukkha samyai. What are the dvandvas? The sukha and dukkha, joy and sorrow. I think there are only four. One moment. Nirmana, moha, jitasanga dosha, adhyatma nitya, vinivritta kama, dvandvaihi vimukta sukha dukkha. Six ones. Six are there. Gachanti, such people, amudhaha, they do not have any delusion in their thought process. Padam avyayam tat, they reach that supreme abode. They means that individual, that jiva, that being reaches that supreme abode. The stanza concludes by a positive and optimistic declaration, having in its force and style the vehemence of a commandment which it says, undiluted reach that goal eternal. Consciousness, expressed through matter vehicles, is a miserable man torn by his own stresses and strains, and the same consciousness, gathered from these vehicles and experienced as such, is the divine moment of infinite realization. The goal is again clearly specified thus. The sixth verse, Natad bhasayate suryaha na shashanko na pavakaha yat katva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So what is the goal to which I have to reach by giving up all this, acquiring all these qualities? To which goal do I go to? That goal, natat bhasayate suryaha. The sun does not light up that goal. The light of the sun cannot throw its light on that goal. Na shashankaha na pavakaha. The moon also does not brighten that path, nor does fire show me that goal, that place where it is. Yet gatva na nivartante. What is the nature of that goal? If I reach there, I do not return. Na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. That space is my supreme abode, the self consciousness. Natat bhasayate suryaha. It is a space. It is not a person to where I go to. It is a place where I go to. What is the nature of that place? That supreme abode. Natat bhasayate suryaha. In that supreme abode, sunlight does not illumine. Sunlight is the light of our lamp, like the light of our lamp for the supreme abode. We don't need the light of our lamp to see the sunlight. In the same way, we don't need the sunlight to see the brightness of that supreme abode. Same, if the sun itself cannot illumine, what to say of the moon? The moonlight also, which is borrowed the light of the sun and is shining. Even the moonlight cannot illumine. Na pavakaha, not even the fire which we light with our hands. Yat gatva, that abode, when I reach, yat gatva na nivartante. When I reach that abode, I don't come out of that. I don't get out of that at all. I don't return from that place again. na nivartante. Tad dhama paramam mama. Mama dhama. My place or my state of being is that consciousness, reaching which I do not come back into any other state of being after that. Neither the sun nor moon nor fire illumines that. The light in which we thus perceive all our sense objects, all our emotions, and all our thoughts is a light of consciousness by which alone we become aware of all our experiences. This light of consciousness cannot be illumined by the gross sources of light available in the world outside, such as the sun, moon, or the fire. In fact, the very light of the sun or the moon or the fire is an object of our consciousness. We are constantly conscious of it. An object of perception cannot illumine the subject that perceives it. The subject and the object cannot be at any time one and the same. The awareness by which we come to experience all our joys of life and sorrows is the eternal self, and that consciousness is indicated as a supreme goal by the Gita. That is my supreme abode. This state of consciousness into which we can rise on transcending the agitations of the mind and intellect is described here as the abode of the divine, the dwelling place supreme, wherein we can confidently make an appointment with truth and meet the infinite. The jiva is the eternal light of consciousness, playing upon and seemingly conditioned by the subtle body constituted the mind intellect equipment. In short, death is only a phenomenon wherein a given subtle body changes its physical equipment, seeking fresh fields and pastures new for its expression and expansion. This process is not the reaching of the infinite, for my abode is that wherein, having gone, there is no return. To clear this possible doubt, the structure and the nature of the ego is explained in the following stanzas. What is the nature of this ego, that limited individual? 7th verse. Mamaivamsho jivaloke jivabhutas sanatanaha manashashtani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. A ray of myself, an eternal portion of myself, having become a living soul in the world of life, abiding in Prakriti, draws to itself the 5 senses with a mind for the 6. Mamaiva amshaha. In this jiva loke, in this world of living beings, which is my own amsha, my own part of my being, jiva bhutaha. It becomes the jiva. And how ancient is it? Sanatanaha. It is very, very ancient. It is this jiva that is living inside us is very ancient. Ancient means how many millions of lifetimes we don't know. Sanatanaha. And what does this jiva have around it? Manaha shashtani indriyani. Mind plus 16 indriyas, which are the 5 sense organs of action, the 5 sense organs of perception, and the 5 pranas, mind and the intellect. Manaha shashtani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. When it is the mind and the intellect are separated as 2, then it becomes 17. Shashtani is 16. So including the mind and the 15 sense organs of perception, action, and the powers of the sense organs. Even though the ego changes with its joys and sorrows, with its knowledge and ignorance, with its peace and agitations, the essential nature of the infinite consciousness that sparkles in our heart is external indeed. And hence the stanza qualifies the self in man as the eternal jiva in the world of jivas. When does the infinite draw these faculties around it? So when does the infinite, that infinite presence, the jiva, get all these faculties? Shariram yadavapnoti yachapyutkramati grihitvaitani samyati vayurgandhani vashayat. When the Lord obtains a body and when he leaves it, when the body is got for the jiva, a body in the womb is present, and when the body drops, meaning the jiva goes, shariram yat avapnoti. At birth also a shariram, a body is got. At death also the next body is acquired. Ada avapnoti. Yacchapi utkramatishvaraha. He takes these. What does he take with him? The subtle body comprising the 5 sense organs of perception, the 5 sense organs of actions, whatever we have seen, heard, tasted, smelt, and touched, whatever we have done with our hands, legs, whatever we have spoken with our mouth, whatever we have let go of the sense organs of excretion and reproduction, all those memories, meaning not those actions, no, the memories of those actions are all stored inside like a SIM card, no, something that is very small, very, very tiny. The jiva is described as almost you cannot see it with your eyes, but if you're seeing experiencing it with the subtle vision of how exactly it is, like a very, very, very thin filament, which is like, all shiny brightness only, which has got the power of movement. That's a jiva. And that jiva is what is residing in us and functioning through this body. And when the jiva leaves, it takes all the 5 sense organs of perception, 5 sense organs of action, the powers of the 5 sense organs, and the powers of the 5 creative actions like prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana, and the memories of what we have seen, heard, taste, smelt, and touched, done, or walked, places to which we have walked, or the objects we have spoken. All those memories and memories of actions are with us. We take the memories of actions, everything is put into that SIM card. Grihitva etani samyati. So completely I leave this world. How do I leave? Vayur gandhaniva ashayat. From this body, I leave this body like as a fragrance is leaving from the flower. Just like how the fragrance leaves the flower and it is pushed by the wind, in the same way, this individual subtle body leaves the gross body. At death, the subtle body permanently departs from the gross body, which is inert, which is left inert. The dead body, though found to maintain the shape of the very individual, has no more any sense faculty or mental ability or intellectual capacity that it has expressed before. These expressions, physical, mental, and intellectual, were those which gave the body an individual personality stature. All these constitute the subtle body, and the gross body, bereft of its subtle essence, is called as the dead body. At the time of death, the subtle body, as it is described here, moves off, gathering unto itself all faculties, even as the wind takes sense from their resting places. A passing breeze is not at any time separate from the atmospheric air that is everywhere, and yet when the breeze passes over a flower or some sandal paste or a scent bottle, which are all seeds of fragrance, it carries with it the respective aroma. Similarly, the subtle body, when it moves out, carries along with it the senses, mind, and intellect, not in any gross form, but as a mere fragrance of all they have lived through, felt in, and thought of. Our thoughts, feelings, emotions, and experiences. Thus, and actions. The viewed, the mind, is nothing but a bundle of vasanas. These vasanas can exist only in infinite consciousness, and the light of awareness illumining the vasanas is called the individual personality or jiva. This subtle body, described in the previous stanzas roughly as the 5 senses and the mind as the 6th, is being explained further in the following stanzas. What is the nature of the subtle body? 9th verse. Shrotram chakshusparshanam cha rasanam ghranameva cha adhishthaya manaschayam vishayanupasevate. This subtle body is what is experiencing the whole world also outside. Through the means of what? Shrotram. Through the ears, it's experiencing the sounds. Through the eyes, it's experiencing the forms and colors. Through the nose, it's experiencing the smells. Through the tongue, it's experiencing the taste. And through the skin, it is experiencing different perceptions. Sparshanam cha, rasanam, ghranam evacha, the 5 sense organs of perception. Adhishtaya, And manaschayam, along with the mind behind all this, how does it experience? With the help of the mind, the sense organs experiences all the objects. If the consciousness, which is eternal and perfect, is so intimately present in every experience of man, how is it that we who are living through vivid and real experiences at every moment of our existence fail to recognize this divine perfection, which is so constantly with us at all times and everywhere? The self is visible only to the eye of knowledge. Just because it is there, we do not have the power or the capacity to see. Only with the eye of knowledge. When I look not through my thought, the thought of the form, when I look through the essence of my thought, which is consciousness, only with that essence of thought, which is consciousness, I will be able to perceive this consciousness. 10th verse. Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam vagunanvitam vimudhananupashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. Utkramantam, the one who departs, the subtle body which departs. Sthitam, or that which stays. Vapi, or bhunjanam, experiences. Va guna anvitam, all the gunas. Vimudha na anupashyanti, the deluded do not see that subtle body which departs, enjoys and experiences all the gunas. Vimudha, but they who behold him, who possess the eye of knowledge. Pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. Vimudha, the subtle body which rises up. Utkramantam, the subtle body which is living in this body, in this gross body. Sthitam vapi, the subtle body which is enjoying all the experiences in the gross body. Vimudha, the one who is identified as this gross body is I. So vimudha na anupashyanti, you cannot see the subtle body with the gross vision of the fleshy eyes. The subtle body requires a subtle vision to see. Na anupashyanti, but who sees then? If a normal human being cannot see, then nobody can see? No. People who have the jnana chakshu, the eye of thought, the eye of wisdom, they can see this subtle being. It is true everywhere that a common man, though observing an object, does not fully and correctly understand it. The better understanding of things is always reserved for the man of knowledge. It is not only, even in music also we say. For example, in a concert, a singer may sing a very beautiful raga alapana. Then he may go up to the rarest point in that raga and stay there in that alapana. For somebody who doesn't know any music, this will be just notes and singing. But suppose a person who understands music and who has been deeply engrossed in that music and he knows the nuances of music, when he just stops there, then you'll hear a lot of noise among the audience. That beauty they will be able to understand. How are they able to see where the others are not able to see? One man, if you ask, why are they singing this again and again? One time is not enough. I've listened to Padani Sari Sanida over. No, I've listened to it once. Why are you singing again and again? Padani Sari Rizanida Padani Sari Garizanida Rizanida Sanida Nida Da Ni Da Sa Ni Re. 7 swaras only. No, why are you going on singing again and again? They will ask. But jnana chakshusha, the person is touched by that music, is appreciating that music. In the same way, if we are having gross vision, we will not be able to see this jiva. But if we have that subtle vision of knowledge, we will be able to see the jiva. We will be able to experience the presence of the jiva. So we will continue tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसोर्मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम।